Final Four is here, so today I want to give you guys a preview of what you can expect, my predictions on who's going to win, and just overall what I think the weakest team is all the way to the strongest team left in the tournament. This is going to be based off a lot of things: KenPom, games, depth charts, rotations, what we've seen so far. This is based on a ton of things that are happening in real life, and I want you guys to kind of get an idea of what the Final Four can be when it's this good. The Final Four consists of the top 4 teams in the country, literally, and it's amazing because when we really think about it, anyone who's complaining about, it's all 1 seeds, it's just kind of dumb. You're about to watch the 4 best teams in the country, undisputedly, who were the 4 best teams at the start of the tournament and now are all in the Final Four, playing the highest intensity games in a great environment. It is going to be some of the best college basketball in the last decade. This is going to be perfect for views, viewership, competitiveness. It's going to be great. So today I want to give you guys an idea of the teams that are left, who I think is the weakest, why I think they're the weakest, and just overall what I think it would take for them to win. At the number 4 spot, I have the Auburn Tigers. Now listen, I don't think that the Auburn Tigers are an awful team, of course. I just think that they're the worst of the best. I don't think that they have brought much to the tournament so far that screams, okay, they're going to be dominant in this Final Four, or they're going to be able to compete heavily in this Final Four. I think Auburn is the weakest team so far in the tournament. They were close with Michigan State. They were close with Michigan for a while. They haven't been able to really pull away from games, and even in their first matchup, they didn't really pull away as much as you expected until later. I do think that they bring a lot of experience. Of course, I'm pretty sure no one in their starting lineup is under 22 years old. I'm pretty sure it is awful. One of them might be 21 or 20, but they're mostly all old. Like Chad Baker-Mazara is 25. That is insane for a college prospect. When you have guys like Denver Jones and Miles Kelly running your backcourt, averaging both 10 plus points a game, you have guys like Janai Broome holding it down low, 18 points tonight, 12 rebounds, and of course, in my opinion, the most detrimental piece to today's game, Tahad Pettiford coming off the bench at point guard, who's averaging 14, 3, and 3, but has also become a bit of a tournament legend with his performances recently. Tahad Pettiford has willed Auburn through some games. I mean, he has been there every step of the way, especially against Creighton and especially against Michigan. I feel like Tahad Pettiford really took over those games. I think that Tahad Pettiford is going to have to take over this game against Florida today if Auburn want a chance to win. I would honestly play Tahad Pettiford more than Miles Kelly or Denver Jones, just because I think that Tahad Pettiford, if he's hot, that's how they win this game. I think Chad Baker-Mazara and Dylan Caldwell have to play good defense for the entirety of the game. They cannot get into foul trouble. You cannot play in a game, Chaney Johnson going in there, getting bigger minutes than he has the entire tournament and trying to lock down Florida's starters. It's not going to work. I think Janai Broome has to drop at least 25 points tonight. I really do. I think that he has to play a major role for Auburn tonight. He has to show why he was a quote-unquote top 3 player in the country. For me, he was top 5, I want to say, in my rankings. So Janai Broome really has to take over. He has to be tough on the glass. He has to score the basketball. He can't just be getting putbacks and turnaround jumpers. He has to create for this Auburn Tigers team. And honestly, it would not shock me if he got a few more assists than 1.2 average. Overall, I think Auburn is the weakest of the best. I think that they can 100% beat Florida. Any of these teams can beat any of them. But overall, Auburn, in my opinion, is the weakest of the best teams. And it's going to be hard for them to overcome Florida when they're only the number 3 team on offense and number 8 team on defense. That combination, according to KenPom, gives them the lowest net rating. Number 3 for me, or the 3rd weakest team, or I guess, whatever you want to call it, is the Florida Gators. Now, I do think that whoever wins the Duke-Houston game wins the national championship, but Florida gives the other side the biggest run for their money if they win. And anything is possible when you have Walter Clayton Jr. I just want to talk real quick about their KenPom rating earlier. They have a 36 net rating, which is 0.8 higher basically than Auburn's net rating. They have the number 2 offensive rating, the number 10 defensive rating, and that defensive rating is what's going to let them down. I don't think that Florida plays defense up to the standard of Duke and Houston while maintaining offensive ability in order to really make a difference against them, but I think it's going to be enough to stop Auburn. I think they're just going to outscore Auburn, and I think the Florida Auburn could end like 96-90. Like, it's going to be a bloodbath of offense, in my opinion. Of course, we know Florida runs a somewhat 3-man rotation. You have Elijah Martin, Walter Clayton, Will Reichard, Alex Condon, and I forgot this guy's first name. Why am I blanking? Ruben Chinyelu. I don't know, bro. I don't do pronunciation, okay? But yes, you have Dylan Aberdeen off the bench, Thomas Howe, and Handel Glotton is what I just call him because Micah Handlegotten is a somewhat fringe player for me. I mean, he's all right. He only averages 2 and 4, but he does play some good minutes. I'm pretty sure he's big, right? Yeah, he's 7'1". Florida does have a lot of size, and that's what's going to help them stack up against this Auburn team. I mean, Alex Condon and Chinielu, I don't know how you say his name, okay, are going to match up really well against the bigs of Auburn. Will Reichard, or Richard, whatever, bro, I don't care. I'm pretty sure it's Reichard, is 6'4" at the small forward, which I don't like. Walter Clayton is 6'3" at shooting guard, which I do like. And Elijah Martin is 6'2" at point guard, which is fine. Now, of course, Aberdeen is fine at 6'5", but I think that really is that front court forward center height and weight that is really going to propel them to the next stage against Auburn. And like I said, being matching them on offense, but then again being slightly worse on defense, I think this is going to be a very close game for Florida, and of course Walter Clayton Jr. just has to take over. I do think that Florida will beat Auburn. I think it's going to be insanely close. I think either of those teams could win. I really do. It's going to be really interesting to see if either of them can maybe shock us a little bit and win by 15, win by 13 points, and just kind of pull away early and never let the other team catch up. That'll be really interesting to me. But in my opinion, Florida brings the biggest threat to Auburn's size. And Auburn's size with Janai Broome has been the problem all year for other teams. But I think Florida matches up against that really, really well in the battle of the SEC. The second best team for me left is the Houston Cougars. The Houston Cougars have a 36.4 net rating, which makes them basically 0.4 better than Florida and gives them a number 10 offensive rating at 124. And the defensive rating is the number 1 defensive rating in the country at 87.5. Now, I will say this. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I'm not going to ask you to because I really just post a bunch of nonsense and a lot of NFL draft stuff. But realistically, if Houston didn't have the reputation of playing tough defense like they do, they would get called for fouls way more. They do foul their opponents a lot, but the reputation of their tough defense makes it harder for referees to call. Now, LJ Cryer, Emmanuel Sharp, Milos Uzan, Joseph Tugler, and Jawan Roberts is an amazing starting five that will give you nothing but effort and buckets from those front 3 players. Now, they are undersized, which is why I do not like them stacking up against Duke. I think Duke has NBA level size everywhere. I mean, the tallest person in their starting lineup is Jawan Roberts, but he's only 6'7". Cooper Flagg is taller than that, and he's their power forward. I mean, they're just not going to be able to hang with the size of Duke. Now, off the bench, they don't really have anyone that really catches my eye except for Javier Francis, who's cool, but again, he's only 6'8". Houston needs size. If Houston had like a 7'1" big man mixed in there somewhere, I would love them to stack up better against Duke. I think this game is going to be low scoring. I think Duke Houston is going to be low scoring defensive. Someone's going to win by 10 though. It's just someone's going to pull away, and I think that's going to end up being Duke, not to spoil anything. But Houston has a long way to go, in my opinion, in order to beat Duke. LJ Cryer is really good, but he's undersized, but it's his last year. Maybe he'll pop off. I don't know. Emmanuel Sharp, he's cool. I don't really care for him though. Like, he's a fine college basketball player, like 12, 14 points, 2 rebounds. It's fine. LJ Cryer is averaging 15. Milos Uzan, he's really taken over in this tournament, in which he's just put up a lot of points in some games. Like against Purdue, he was good. Against Arizona in the championship game, he was good. There's a lot that he brings to a team. I think that this game will center around Jawan Roberts and his ability to stop the big man. Jawan Roberts needs to put on a clinic against Cooper Flagg or against Kamen Malawak, and he needs to be physical on the boards. He cannot get out rebounded to a crazy extent. I do expect him to get out rebounded, but I need him to hold it down in there and be that brick, be that wall. I also need Francis to come off the bench and provide a lot of rebounding. Houston should be able to keep up with Duke, but I don't think they'll be able to beat Duke. And then the best team remaining are the Duke Blue Devils with a net rating of 39.6, which is 3.2 rating better than Houston. They have the number 1 offense, according to Ken Pom, and the number 5 defense in the country, according to Ken Pom. And the only team left that had a negative luck rating, which means that they were technically unlucky throughout the season. They also played a way harder schedule than everybody except for Auburn. And honestly, I think that Duke is the complete team. This is one of the best college basketball teams I think I've seen in my lifetime. Unironic. Tyrese Proctor, Sion James, Con Knipple, Cooper Flagg, Kamen Malawak. That is an NBA level starting lineup for like the Wizards. I think all those guys could play in the NBA one day. I think they're all players. Now, I will say this. They do have a deeper rotation, but I don't really like the rotation pieces. Tyrese Proctor is cool, right? Like, I mean, he's a good player. He's getting older, but he is a good player. but he also brings size at point guard. He's 6'5", and he's currently shooting 41.2% three. He's a great shooter, but for some reason he can't hit free throws. I don't know. He's confusing, okay? And he did great against Alabama. He did great against Baylor. Not the best against Arizona, but that's okay. Zion James, he's interesting. Again, really efficient from the three. I feel like everyone's efficient from the three when you play for Duke. It's just like a theme. You have to be. Nipple, again, another 40+% shooter from three. He's been balling out, especially against Arizona and Alabama. He's shown his worth as a player for Duke. Cooper Flagg, of course, is doing his Cooper Flagg thing. The first player to shoot under 40% from three, but he was voted as the best player in the country. I didn't think so. I thought, unsurprisingly, Cam Jones, in my opinion. I've just never been more amazed with a player. I think he willed Marquette to where they should be. I think that he made them so much better, but that's a discussion for a different video, maybe. I don't know. Cooper Flagg is very, very good, and he's a phenomenal player. And Kamen Maluak, he is a dude. He is 7'2", 250 pounds. He's a force down low. I love Kamen Maluak. And then I'm not even going to get into the bench. I mean, Caleb Foster, Isaiah Evans is cool. Mason Gillis is cool. Gamba is okay. I don't want him to play tonight, though. I want it to just be Kamen and Flagg really just running that front court all night. I don't think anyone can touch with Duke right now. If they lose to Houston, I think Houston will win it all. I don't think anyone on the left side of the bracket, so Auburn and Florida, are going to be able to win. And I just think the people on the right, Duke and Houston, whoever wins that game is going to win your national championship. And I expect it to be Duke, and I expect Duke to win it all. But we can do another breakdown of the teams when the national championship day comes. Appreciate you guys for watching. As always, like and sub for more content. And yeah, let's go.